Well, first, here are some of the things that you're going to need. First thing you're going to need is triple thick glaze. It's made by Deco Art. You can buy it at your craft store. And then you're going to need a ball of tan clay, about that big, a very small ball of yellow clay, and a bottle top for mixing. And this is a tool that I made. It's made out of Sculpey, and it's for making square indentations. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. And you're going to need a toothpick, a clean toothpick, a razor blade, and that's called a cotton round, and some everyday household rubbing alcohol, a paintbrush, just any old paintbrush, and some chalk pastels. The first thing you're going to do, you're going to take your tan clay in your ball and you're going to condition the clay. The clay will be very hard when you first start using it, so you need to rub it in between your fingers and get it really nice and soft. And then you're going to roll it into a ball, and you are going to flatten it. Oh, first of all, what you should do is you should definitely clean off your working area in your hands, because especially when working with a light color clay, other colors that you used before and other glazes can get on your hands and transfer to the light colored clay. So you're going to want to clean off your tile and throw it away. Okay, now you can roll it into a ball and gently flatten it down with your thumb. And you're going to want to make a little well in between, a very small well in the middle. And now you're going to shape it into a square. And just keep patting the middle down. You want the sides to be kind of raised up. And just keep shaping it. And smooth it out. And then you're going to take your tool. It's just basically a stick of Sculpey that I baked, and I shaved off the tip to make it into a little square, so that when I press it into clay that it makes a little square. It's just an alternative to buying a mold for making waffle texture. And I'm just making little square indentations in the clay like a waffle would be. And you just keep, I like to do 3 rows of 3. That tends to be plenty enough for a little waffle. You don't want it to be too big. And you don't want to press too firmly. Okay, now you're going to cut off the edges because they were uneven, so you want to make it look nice and uniform. Just be sure that you don't cut off too much, because then you'll be running into the squares. Okay, there's your little waffle. And now what you're going to want to do is scrape some of the brown pastel. These are not ideal pastels. Usually you want them to be softer, and I won't tell you what brand these are because you shouldn't have these kind. These are too hard. But the brand they sell at Walmart is very, very good, and it's only about $7. So I'm just brushing the light brown onto the waffle to make it look like it has been cooked. And you don't want to add too much because you don't want your waffle to turn out orange. But Just brush it along the sides and on top. That should be good enough. Now what you're going to want to do is take your little yellow clay and roll it out into a little ball and condition it, of course, because it's going to be hard. And flatten it down and take your razor blade and you're going to cut off the edges to make it into a little tiny square. It'd be kind of hard to see, but there's the square. And you're going to just place it right on top, wherever you want, that's fine. And now what you're going to do, this part is a little bit harder. You're going to want to bake it first in the oven before you do this step, but I didn't have time to bake it. So you're going to want to bake it on 275 for 15 minutes. And I just poured some of the triple thick glaze into the little bottle cap. And then you're going to take your dark brown pastel and your razor blade, and you're just going to shave off some of the pastel into the glaze. And you're gonna want to get about a medium amount, not too much. I think in this video I used a little bit too much because it turned out very dark. And on the video it looks almost black, but it's not. It's actually just a really rich brown, but I would have used a little bit less. And then you're going to want to take your lighter brown and shave some in there because that's going to create a nice color. The two colors mixed will make a nice color. So you're just going to want to mix that in there. With your toothpick, and then you're going to take the toothpick and swirl some of the glaze onto the toothpick and just apply it around the butter, or really anywhere that you want. I just wouldn't recommend it putting on top of the butter because if you've noticed on real waffles, the syrup doesn't stick to the butter. So and of course you wouldn't want to put it on top of your butter because then it would just disappear altogether. So just put it around wherever you want. And that is your waffle. Enjoy!